Welcome. We are here to play once more Into the Void by Rae Nedjadi, sci-fi tabletop role-playing game in the Firebrands system, and just excited to play. I'm Mads, she, they pronouns. I've only played this game once, even though I've gotten this since the Kickstarter, and I got to play it in person, which was amazing. But I'd love to, play this again, share it with other people, and yeah, I'm excited to see how this pans out, especially with a different role in the game. So I'm gonna popcorn this over to Sabine, and then we'll just go through introductions before we get started. So.
Yeah, hi, I'm Sabine. I use I pronouns. I have played this before. I've facilitated it, and I have also played it as a solo game with four of my Star Wars characters, which worked particularly well. I did this because I wanted to understand how the game works, and yeah, going through that helped me understand what some of the text in the first version was a little unclear, but I think it's cleared up now. So yeah. And I'll popcorn it over to Jonn.
Hi, I'm John. My pronouns are he, him. Oh, and I'm unmuted for once. Um, I haven't played this, but I've played several other Firebrand. I've played Firebrand and some of the hacks for it. Uh, so this is the first time playing once more Into the Void, though. So I will popcorn it over to James.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm James, he, him. And I played this once before when Elle ran it, and it's a beautiful game, and I really, really enjoyed it. But we only got to play a couple of sessions, and I just thought it was a wonderful game, and I was still very memorable, so I just really wanted to play it again straight away.
Yeah, fabulous. So, like, we're going to be playing the extended version, which is definitely going to be more than two. I think it's going to be like about 5 sessions. Like, we're going to play more of the mini games, hopefully more than once, depending on how it goes, and then we'll culminate into the last mini game of once more into the void and see how our characters fare after that. Okay, so we'll do a quick version of like concept, aim, tone, and subject matter for this game, as well as going over safety tools that are available, and then go into character creation and world building. Okay, so hopefully I won't disappoint because it's like, again, I'm not as familiar with facilitating this game as I am with other things. But again, I had this game really caught me because I really love the prompts, and I really love how it's formulated from the start. So um, with this particular game, uh, again, Once More Into the Void is um, sci-fi role-playing game where we're essentially playing flawed heroes. Like, we're trying to stop the darkness and mend that which was broken. Using the Firebrands, the captain and crew are going to strike back against the enemy and save the galaxy for good. We'll see what that enemy is comprised of, and we'll see what our captain and crew looks like once we start developing characters. Um, so that's the concept. And again, our aim is to play these heroes of the galaxy, but I guess we're like kind of like more found family. So it could be something like kind of goofy yet serious, like Guardians of the Galaxy, or more serious fare where, we're just really flawed and really complicated and, fighting. So, take it from there, like how complex and complicated we're going to be. Um, and that leads us into our tone, which could be anything from slightly humorous, but I mean, like, always coming back to, we couldn't be involved and complicated within each other because we're essentially a crew that has been torn apart in our past, and our captain is trying to atone and trying to bring us back together for this one last thing to make a strike against the enemy. So we'll see how well we hold it together to fight against this common foe. Um, and so the tone could be, again, humorous, but also go into some dark territory. So however complicated found family ends up being, that's what we're going to delve into. But we will do so, with possible subject matter that could be difficult. But that's why we have safety tools available to us. And then some of the safety tools that are available are active consent. So again, we're just always going to try and discuss about, like, you know, what kind of details we're comfortable with. Like, you know, go definitely fade to black on things that we're, you know, don't want to really role play, or maybe just touch upon in a memory or a flashback, but again, not really fully engage with. And then of course, lines and veils, things that we don't want to include at all in our game, which we do have a safety tab for. So this is a subject, this is a, excuse me, this is a living document. So even if it's not triggering in the, like, you know, maybe in like one scene, but if it comes up later again and it just for whatever reason comes up that, you know, we just can't have it, then we can just totally take it out and mark it as a line, but we will not ask why it needs to be taken out. So again, just keep that in mind. And there are, let's see, other safety tools like checking in, mentioned in the book. Checking in involves like a thumbs up, thumbs down, excuse me, thumbs up hand waving system. So thumbs up means like, you know, I'm checking in, is everything okay? Everybody, like, you know, could return like another thumbs up in return to make sure that they're okay, you know, keep going. One hand waving means it's like, you know, not sure, let's slow down. And then both hands up waving means it's like, let's, not okay, let's take a break. Okay, so I'm like, if we don't have the words, we have hand gestures. So that's a good way to do some check-in. So that's a safety tool that we have available. And if we don't really have some true language for it, or we don't want to do, you know, full-on hand gesture or whatever, then we could just do what's called wait, wait, wait. You know, this is borrowed from Gabriel Rabinowitz and Ben Bisogno. And so again, a collaborative game, it's like, you know, if we do a wait, 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 it's like this is our chance to pause, ask a question, make a suggestion, or ask for help. So asking a question to clarify something in the gameplay, making a suggestion if there's a problem or some kind of, like, you know, like, wait a second, with the established narrative, or adding some new elements related to the character or relationships, and asking for help, like if you don't have any idea where to go with a certain prompt or whatever, just wait, wait, wait. It's like, you know, can I have some help with this? Like, what do we think as a table? Like, you know, can you help me out? That you can totally ask for help. All right. So we have wait, wait, wait. We have check in with the thumbs up and hand waving. And then we have, excuse me, our lines and veils slash, you know, topics under discussion. There is also a romance option matrix that is in our safety tab, and we would just put our names in there to list, you know, if we're willing to have romance with the PCs, with the NPCs, and then like our preferences therein. Okay. Yeah. So just make sure that in the romance option matrix, it's like you put that in. Okay. And again, like romance options, I mean, like, you know, again, depending on, let's see, what you put into preferences, like you can specify. I mean, like if you'd rather keep it like, you know, pretty much arrow or, you know, ace or something like that, you can totally do that. If you don't want to have, you know, full on like romance or whatever, then like, you know, you could specify in the preferences part of the romance matrix. Okay. So that covers our cats, that covers our safety. And then we will work on our character creation. I know some of us have picked out playbooks already. We have different roles that we can pick from. We must always have a captain, though, because the captain is the one that's bringing us back all together. You know, we were a crew once, but then we were broken up for different reasons, and then now the captain is bringing us back together for this one last job. So, captain, the veteran, the reformed, the believer, the broken, the strange, and the bound. So I know that Sabine
Sorry.
and I'm sorry.
There's the steadfast as well.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did we
Sorry.
miss it? Oh, there it is. Sorry, missed it. That's what happens when I don't scroll all the way over. Yes, and the steadfast. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yeah, a lot of choices. So, all right. And so I know Sabine and James had some options in mind for their characters. So I mean, like, I have no objection to your particular choices. Jonn, did you want either of those choices? Okay. So Sabine, James, you can start working on or you could start looking at like the captain and the strange accordingly. Jonn, did you know what you wanted to pick out of the ones that were left? You're on mute.
I looked at them and I didn't really have a strong preference. So I was kind of only leaning towards veteran because it seemed like it was pretty straightforward. But I mean, I didn't have any particular preference really. Did you have one?
I mean, it was either the veteran or the reformed. I mean, that's fine, but I mean,
Okay.
I can go.
Well, you can go with veteran. I'll see what. Oh, hmm.
I mean, I don't have to. It's up. It's I'm like, if you're feeling strongly about the veteran, I can go someplace like one of the other ones.
No, I think I'll try to steadfast since you're interested in the veteran.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Okay. So let's see. Let me go to the PDF. Okay. So, all right. So done the overview, and then we pick characters to play. Okay. Going to do extended speed and then enemy. Okay, so we picked character to play. Pardon. So I've given handouts to the players. For character creation, you're essentially picking out 2 qualities from the list on your particular page on your playbook. All right. And then you would choose 2 of those qualities, and then the person on your left would choose a third. So in your case, Sabine, Jonn, as the person on your left, on the other side, would pick your last quality. Okay. And then
Okay.
you would, like, you being the captain, would pick 2 aspects of your look from that list. And then the person on your right, I guess would be me, would be picking a third. Okay. And then that would go on and so forth for the rest of us. So let's see. For me, I would pick out 2 qualities, and then Sabine, you would pick out 1 for me, and then 2 aspects of my look. It would be James that would pick out my third, and then, yeah. So just following those directions. I'm just gonna look at and see what kind of qualities I get. Okay.
So we've got the captain, the veteran, the strange, and the steadfast, right?
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and hide the other ones.
Oh, great, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's really difficult to look at them. All right, so if you have picked out your characteristics, go ahead and do the thing that you're supposed to do for the person on your left and your right. So I'm gonna go pick out a quality for the captain and a quality for or an aspect. Or let's see, hold on. An aspect for the captain and a quality for the strange, at least for me.
It's the person on the left for the quality and the person on the right for the look, right?
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
That's how I'm reading it off of my thing. Yes. Ooh.
So I'm picking a quality for the veteran, right?
Yes, you're picking quality for the veteran.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. And the look for the steadfast.
Correct. And I'm picking an
I
aspect.
understand this.
Yes. I'm picking an aspect for you, Captain. Let's see. Oh, I should have asked. Do you have a personal problem with tattoos? Okay, great. That's what you get.
Oh, nice.
Tattoos
yeah, I
that
love
tell a
that.
story. Tattoos that tell a story.
Yeah.
Okay, and for the strange, I need to pick equality.
I think you're also patient.
All right. strange. I think you are also longing.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm doing the quality for the captain and
No,
the look for the. Oh wait.
you're doing
Okay.
quality. You're doing quality for the strange, and you're doing an aspect.
No, you did the aspect for me.
Oh,
Sorry, but you chose an aspect for me, and I
Okay.
chose. So I think, Jonn, you get to choose quality for me, right?
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Yes, that's why
oh
I.
yes, equality
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
captain. Yes.
And I think I should choose an aspect for you, but somebody has already done that or not? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought I was doing equality for the
Okay,
person
okay.
to my left.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, this Jonn has to do an aspect for the strange.
That's what I
'Cause-
thought. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. You you have to do an aspect for the strange. Yes.
Yeah.
I've
And
already
who
done
does
the.
who
And
does
I
the
do.
aspect for me then?
I did the aspect for you.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes,
Right.
quality.
Aspect quality.
Qualities to the left, look to the right. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
So, there's already 3 for the veteran, but I think I'm supposed to do the veteran.
You're asking the person to the left. That means okay. I had it twisted around backwards. No, never mind.
So, James, you would handle the aspect to my look. You would handle the third aspect.
Although I do like patient, so I think I'm going to leave it as patient.
It's quality and not
Yeah.
the aspect.
Yeah, you have to do my look. You have to do my third
Yeah.
look. And Jonn does your third look.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out now.
And Sabine, you would do Jonn's Steadfast's third quality.
Quality. Oh, sorry.
No problem. I know it's a lot easier when we're at a table.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right,
oh
I
my
think if-
god.
Yeah.
But somebody has still to do my third quality, and
Yeah, I haven't. I'm just.
that's
picking.
okay. But I do your look, right,
Mhm.
Jonn?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have, but now that I got confused again, and now I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at left and right when it's on the table.
Yeah, it's
No,
like it's saying ask the person on the left means that the person on the left is doing it for the person on the right.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay.
No, I think I get it now.
Okay. Somebody just has to fill in.
I will go and redesign this just to put little arrows
Sure.
next to the
That's
quality and next to the look, just so people know where to ask.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if we
right.
went through it and had everyone do it one by one, I think it would make sense because it's
Oh,
like I need to
sorry.
ask the person on my left. Instead, we're like trying to jump to like, oh, the person on the left needs to do it for the person on the right. Yeah.
So James, you would need to provide my look.
Yes. Okay, I get it now. Right. I'm doing that now.
Yep.
Oh, it's very hard to choose. There's the veteran ones are really good.
I know, they're fun. They're all fun, actually. They're really great.
Oh, I like that.
I gave the veteran outdated cybernetic implants.
Nice. That kind of goes with the battered armor that's seen better days.
Yeah.
Ah, crap.
I felt like the sad smile said so much that I didn't want to double up on those traits.
Right. Okay, awesome. Oh, I gotta find a good picture, but I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. And then if you're one of the things that I really like about this is the fact that the prose for the character creation is really really vivid. So each person has give yourself a name that does something, right? So the captain has something and the veteran has give yourself a name that suggests history and regret. I'm like, oh shit, now what do I do? So And each one of us has something like it. So, oh man. But I mean, like when you have a prompt, like, stuff like that, it's like it's very vivid.
I just love the Tesseract personally. That's fantastic.
It said it should
Amazing.
be aliens, so I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
what could be? Yeah.
Well, I mean, the veteran being the veteran, it's like, everything's abbreviated, so they're probably just going to call you Tess. I don't have time for this kind of shit. Let's see. All right, I'll come up with a portrait at some point. Don't know when, but all right. Do we have? Oh, I love that picture. Awesome. Oh, and you always have the best pictures, Sabine. I love that guy.
Yeah, I had an idea of what this guy is supposed to look like, and this is the version, the nowadays version. He was
Right.
far pretty early on.
I mean, still cute. I'm sorry. Amazing. Amazing. Jonn, how you doing?
Trying to find a name.
Okay. I'm just making up some shit, so I mean, I get it.
Oh, I love the harness with many buckles. That's a really good bit of flavor.
Asher. I want to go with that.
Nice. All right, so we picked a character to play. We're definitely going to be doing extended speed. So we're going to be doing the recruitment montage after we create the enemy. And then we're going to do mini games after that. So we'll see how far we get, like, in terms of character creation and all this for this particular session. But yeah, we seem to be going at a decent clip. So, I mean, like, I have no worries. And then, of course, we'll get as far as we get. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Give me a second. Okay. What I'd like to do, if we're good to go for play, we're going to introduce each of the characters. Just the stuff that we've created here. So read the blurb, like introduce your um, name, your playbook, read the blurb underneath your playbook, and then your qualities and your look. Okay, we'll just start there, and then we'll go into the enemy as a table once we finish doing the introductions. Okay, so let's be introduced to our captain.
Yeah, okay. So this is the captain. His name is Syrano of House Quinlan, he or they pronouns, and the real name is actually a lot longer because of the titles, but this is the abbreviated version. You get it, yeah, right? And I'll read the blurb. You've tried leaving the stars behind, the void, all of it. After the dangers you faced and the sacrifices you made, your adventures left you with a broken heart. Betrayed by your beliefs, you spent years nursing your regret. But the void calls you again, and all the worlds need saving. If you don't act now, we could lose it all. You can't do it alone. You need to convince your crew to come together one last time. They have every right to hate you and no reason to trust you. You weren't there for them when they needed you most. But they can't help but believe in you even after all that you did. Will you prove that they were right to trust you again, or will they die cursing your name? And I am privileged, charismatic, and haunted. I have a charming smile that hides what I'm really thinking, an old uniform made to look new again, and tattoos that tell a story.
Can't wait to hear that story.
Yeah, well, it's mostly the story of my house, but again, yeah.
All right, I'll go next. As the veteran, I'll be playing Caviscado, Denale, they, them. You've tried leaving the memories behind, the love, all of it. After you stood up for the captain and fought for them, they gave up the fight and left you to clean up after them. For that and for giving up on themselves, you've never forgiven them. But the captain has need of you, and this is your chance to prove you and the captain still have life left in you. You are more than your bitterness and heartbreak, and though the captain sees you for who you were at your prime, the others see a legend whose time is done. They don't think you've any fight left in you. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but damn if you're giving up. Will you prove that you've earned your reputation for a good reason, or will your hidden bitterness consume you? I am experienced, insightful, and patient. I have a sad smile, battered armor that's seen better days, and outdated cybernetic implants.
I think that means it's me. So I'm the Strange, otherwise known as the Tesseract. Name and other identity unknown. And so you've tried leaving behind the people, the friendships, all of it. Captain tried to convince you that you were as real as the rest, but you knew that you were too different, too other to ever be at home here. But the captain called upon you once more, and this is your chance to prove that you are a real person, that you can save all the world, that you are more than the weird and the strange. Your captain still sees you as family, a hero in the making even, but the rest of the crew can't ever be the home you need. But you want to be what the captain sees, you want to be just as real as the rest. Will you prove that you feel and need as much as the others, or will you prove that you are too alien to be trusted? And the Tesseract, when you look upon the Tesseract, they are mesmerizing, uncanny, and longing. They have an organic heart in a synthetic body, sort of a secret like mass at the center of the maze, evidence of disconnection from this reality, and a psychic aura that changes colors.
You've tried leaving behind the regrets, the blame, all of it. You were the only one the captain didn't leave behind. You stayed by their side all these years and kept them safe from harm and retribution. You did what no one else was strong enough to do. But the captain believes they need the rest of the crew, and this is your chance to prove them wrong. The captain only needs you to save all the worlds, and your love and valor will be more than enough. But the captain knows how much you've missed this crew, this family, and you can't escape the warm memories and quiet heartbreak. But the crew will have to prove themselves worthy of the captain. Will you pull this family together again and bring out the best in each other? Or will the captain's foolishness cost the both of you everything? So, my qualities, well, my name is Asher, he, they. My qualities are tough, witty, and wounded. My look is a strong body pushed to its limits, layers of fabrics concealing a collection of weapons, and a harness and many buckles.
That's gonna be interesting, but like picturing in my head, I'm just like, oh gosh. All right, walking pockets. All right, awesome. Cool. All right, so now we're gonna go to the next part of the character creation world building, which is going to be going over the enemy. So, in our packet of handouts, that's page 4. The enemy. Heroes are only as strong as the enemy they face. The promise of tragedy only made real by what's at stake. In a quick game, make choices beforehand. Okay, in an extended game, take your time and also answer the character questions on page 29. So we'll do this first page first, and then we will go ahead and go to page 29 when we finish these questions. All right. So who is the enemy? We have several choices on this page. We can choose one of these or create our own. I'm like, just really quickly, a horde of AI and other machines, a vanished people, the undead, remnants of a people ravaged by time and cruelty, clones that have learned to shapeshift and assume memories, former comrades who now embody the void, or a mimetic virus. So what do we think is our enemy at this point that we're going to fight, or that is calling us back to fight one last time? What do we think?
Former comrades who now embody the void. That sounds interesting. And maybe
That's
might
really
speak
good.
Yeah.
I love
might
that.
speak to what happened. Why are they now embodying the void? What did we
Yeah,
miss?
exactly. I mean, this could be something that we play out, like in terms of like
Mhm.
finding out more about what
Mhm.
the fudge happened.
Mhm.
to turn them into this. And there's no saying that we couldn't like slowly possibly incorporate some of the other things to explain how this happened.
Mhm.
You know, was it AI? Was it you know, a virus? You know, what is it, right? So I mean, like, you know, there's no reason we couldn't like try to include some of these other things in there too. What does the enemy want? Again, choose one or create your own. So claim what is owed to them, continue a cycle of violence and harvest across millennia, make us pay for what we did, oh boy, make to rebuild a broken galaxy, reset a broken timeline, or to make a galaxy a peaceful place for eternity.
Ominous.
Yeah. I mean, it's all ominous, but what do we think? Because the former comrades is very close to home, but it's affecting the galaxy in some cases because it's the void. So, I
Uh-huh.
mean, what do we think? For what do they want?
I mean, I know you like make us pay for what we did because you said, "Oh boy,"
Yeah.
but maybe we can combine that
I want to
because
combine
maybe
it with something,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What do we think we want to combine it with?
Kind of like I'm getting a bit of a kind of like dimensional rupturing vibe. So possibly like either rebuilding, like we're the problem and the a new reality, rebuilding the galaxy is a solution, or maybe to make the galaxy a peaceful place for eternity. Like it sort of feels like an incursion from one type of reality to another or something.
Oh, wait. So
Mhm.
to like let's okay, let's workshop this. To rebuild a broken I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a galaxy. What if it's a to rebuild a broken dimensional rift? Because we fucked it up in the first place. What do you think? I mean,
I kind of like it being vague though, because then we might need that vagueness later.
yeah. I mean that because we find out in play, but I mean, like, do we want to start off with the broken galaxy and then find out later that it's a dimensional problem? Because I like the incursion part of it. I mean, I like that idea because why else would they be saying like why would else would they be embodying the void? Jonn, what do you like? What's some ideas that are percolating?
Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of like the repair of the broken galaxy only because, like, if it is a dimensional rift that needs to be closed, or maybe it needs to be made bigger. I mean, their
Mm,
definition of repairing that is from the perspective of someone who's embodying the void. So I feel like just through embodying the void and trying to repair a broken galaxy, that
mm.
covers a lot already.
I agree. And then the ambiguity leads potentially gives us the chance to for like you were saying, John, for some sort of moral or perspective based ambiguity
Hmm.
later on.
I mean, especially because is it all our fault? Is it just the captain's fault? I mean, I don't know.
Probably all my fault.
Oh, I don't know. Could be all our fault,
I mean, I'm the captain, so I've heard that it probably is all my fault.
Right,
Anyways,
right. Whether it was or not,
well, it probably was though.
you're there to
Um,
save us. You didn't save us, so it's your
no,
fault.
yeah.
No,
Like, so
no.
therefore, there's no depth of, there's no nuance.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right, we'll find out. Okay.
Oh,
What's at stake if we fail? So, choose one or create your own. An all-out galactic war. Precious resources will disappear forever. An ancient enemy will resurface. Essential technology will become corrupted. History and memories will be rewritten. An apocalypse beyond our comprehension, or our bodies and minds will be bound in servitude. So many good choices. It's just all bad.
That's very difficult.
Oh, what's at stake if we fail? Oh, shit.
I mean,
I
if the
feel
galaxy's rebuilt to the tune of the void,
history and memories, at the very least, will be rewritten, if not
yeah,
completely voided out, not
yeah,
to
it
be
could be an
fresh.
apocalypse beyond our.
Right,
Yeah.
that too, right.
Yeah,
So,
Maybe
because
we don't. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say potentially what is apocalyptic for us is what constitutes rebuilding for them. So we won't be around to see whatever
Yep.
comes next.
Yeah. Apocalypse. Apocalypse now. And I can't spell apocalypse for whatever reason. Beyond our comprehension. Okay. And I could just as easily do copy paste because I'm doing it the hard way. All right. So we'll leave it at that for now because I mean this is broad spectrum stuff that we can totally drill down with as we play for sure. Let's go to the further character questions on page 29. All right. So each one, okay. Character questions has our history with the enemy is complex. Well, definitely if they're former comrades. So, oh boy. Each player refers to their history section. Answer the questions freely. So, we should answer these one at a time because if each character kind of needs like to have help or workshop this, you can totally do this, but answer this as much as you want, okay? So, for the captain, you once had a heroic reputation. How did the enemy secretly help you gain it?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We once had a heroic. How did the enemy? Since they are former comrades,
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that I was basically the figurehead, and they were the ones doing the hard work. And that was before they got eaten by the void. Yeah, but I was basically the guy who looked pretty and had the name and the lineage, and they were the ones doing the job. Which explains why I'm haunted.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Do you hold on. Do you see their faces? Have you seen their faces like this whole time since?
No, but I might have heard their voices. I don't know why. That's a very complex question. I think I hear their voices more than see their faces.
Okay.
Their faces kind of got eaten by the void anyway.
But you hear them.
It's in my mind. My therapist says it's in my mind.
Mostly in your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, question for me. Yippee skippy. The veteran. You were one of the first to ever fight the enemy. What did history get wrong? Oh shit. Oh man. Oh crap. Yeah, I think. Oh man. They say. They say that they always make that story. I don't start it, but they say that story about Denale's run, about making that great escape, my piloting with the ship, out of that sector to get away from those that were trying to consume the ship. They didn't know that I was using them. I was using their power at that point to propel the ship out of that asteroid belt. I didn't fight. I ran. That's what they got wrong that day. They thought I was courageous. They thought I was reckless and skilled. No, I ran. I ran with whomever would come, whomever was on the ship. Yeah, that's what they got wrong.
I think it's me next, isn't it? What about your origins or strangeness is tied to the enemy? I mean, I think one of the roles of the Tesseract on the ship is actually to sort of like it's not clear. I don't want to overdetermine it how it came to happen, but the Tesseract is sort of a power source and a kind of navigational device as well as being sentient. And it's not 100% clear, but the place where the power, the dark power, the sort of overwhelming force from another realm, where it came from, was it the Tesseract that punched the hole in the first place? Is it the Tesseract's existence that even allowed these two places to interact? Um, it's hard to tell what came first. Were they drawn to the Tesseract? Even the Tesseract itself does not know.
And the Steadfast. Yeah, I'm just going to read off the question. What do you know about the enemy that you can never tell the captain?
I think what I know that I cannot share with the captain is that this was like a previous iteration of what we became. We effectively co-opted their goals after their failure. And I don't think that's necessarily an well-known thing. And the captain definitely doesn't know that. Oh, and we might not even be the second iteration of it.
So you're saying that we're not the we
Like,
don't know what number we are.
yeah, who knows how many failures came before ours? But I think that there isn't going to be a chance for another one because I feel like that might play into what they're doing. They're like, we're putting it into this cycle. Maybe that's what the part of what the enemy's objective is.
Okay. And that is our things to think about for continuing play and all that. Okay, so let's see. We have done the character creation and the enemy and our further character creation. Let's go ahead and take our first 10-minute break. And then when we come back, we're going to do the recruitment montage, which is going to be a little more extended since we're playing the extended version. And this is where the captain will be recruiting each of us in turn to back to the crew. Okay, so we're going to take 10 minutes and we'll see you guys then. All right. All right, so this is a reminder. The object of the game for Once More Into the Void is to come together as a crew despite the painful past that we share. Or you may splinter and stand apart at the shattering. When you play the final mission Once More Into the Void, you'll use your tokens, I guess there's like token currency going on in here, to prove that your loyalty to each other will see you through. If you have not built enough loyalty with each other, at least one of you may perish, run away, or disappear. You're trying to earn as much loyalty as you can while role-playing characters who are real, vulnerable, and complicated. It is best to play this game with an open heart, to fall in love at the worst moment, to confess to what's better left unsaid, to do the messy and uncertain work of healing, to mistrust each other, to hold on to hope, to give in to despair. Remember that you all have a long history with one another that will be revealed as you play the game. And the general rule is you can always just read out what's written, verbatim. Fill in any blanks from your own imagination. You can ad-lib instead, if you like. You should convey the thrust of what's written and try not to contradict what's written. Either way, you can always elaborate freely. Okay, so very much prompt-based stuff. I mean, like, the story is as we weave it, and we always, as we usually do, play to find out. So, just go for it. All right, and then again, use the safety tools. Like if certain things like seem like it's getting into you on the edge of something that might be a little bit uncomfortable, and then just check on the safety tab just in case you're not sure. Yeah. All right, so with that, let's go into our first recruitment montage. So we have recruiting the veteran, teach an old dog new tricks. This recruitment montage introduces the veteran into the story and explores what motivates them to return to the crew. Once everyone has had the recruitment montage, begin playing the minigames. Okay, so this takes place in the crew's old hideout. We would, Captain and Veteran, briefly describe the crew's old hideout, a sentence or two each. What do we think about her old hideout?
Um, I think instead of going the usual rundown thing, I think it's a luxury resort actually, because is owned by the House Quinlan, and that's where we used to regroup, I guess, because there's a lot of creature comfort, and also there are of boardrooms where you can have a whiteboard or whatever the sci-fi equivalent of that is.
Yeah. I think you'll find because of Caviscado, pardon, yeah, because of Caviscado, like just deciding to like try to ease their like aching bones and outdated cybernetics, like in a more hospitable climb. It's like it's probably where they're like out more in the temperate part of the resort and then just kind of like taking their ease. Maybe I think they're kind of laying out in one of the like many lounge chairs in the open area, and strangely enough you see like a book, like an actual book, like on their face, like as they're like laying there lounging, it's like there's a big book on their face.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that how your age and past shows? Because I was supposed to ask you.
Yeah. I mean, it could. It
Mhm.
could. I mean, like it's actually a like a it's like an old relic of something that um, Denale keeps, right? I mean, like they don't keep a whole shitload of things. Obviously, they couldn't in the old ship. So, one of the things that they did keep was this particular book, which they considered their favorite, and somehow it's kept itself together. I don't know, like whether by virtue of being treated properly or just by virtue of, I don't know, some kind of like literal chemical treatment to keep it somewhat together. But yeah. And the parts of their body that are just kind of exposed to the element is just yeah, seemingly wiry, but like kind of out of shape, like as if they hadn't been working out for a little bit, you know?
Mhm.
But do you say that out loud? He was like,
No, I think that there are two questions I'm supposed to ask, and that's just what I'm
okay.
trying to do. I think what the captain would not say anything like that.
Okay.
Would probably go like, "Oh, you're still reading this. Haven't you finished this book yet?"
And then I think, like it's their one arm that has like the old cybernetic panel to it. I mean, but it's like two actual hands. And then like the hands just kind of come down from the book and then just kind of let the book slide down onto their chest. And they just look up at you and then say, "Of course I finished reading it. I just like rereading. Is that okay?"
Um, sure, sure thing.
And when you see them, their face is rather drawn. Like maybe you see like bigger bags underneath their eyes, more gray in their hair, so like more salt and pepper. And then you know, there's that sad smile that you remember, but I mean, like they just look more relaxed, but yet more flabby.
Yeah, okay.
Worked out. Why do you look so much older than than last time?
I think it's because, you know, after the whole thing, my family was not too happy with me, and I didn't get the rejuvenation packages I used to. So that's yeah. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I don't need these rejuvenation packages. You know, they always made me sneeze.
No, you didn't. Anybody could have told you that. You ain't losing that smile or those looks easily. Ugh, the
I guess
Quinlan
not.
blood wills out for sure. And then as they're stretching, like they kind of sit there and stretch, you hear all of the popping, not only like the human bones, but you also hear like the cybernetic, like wired, like, pings and pops and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
I'm sure you didn't come to complain about not getting the old Rejuvi packages. What are you doing here?
Um, there's Rim. Okay, this is remember when we lost those guys? It's hard to, you know, that I can't remember the names because of how we lost them actually. Uh, but um, I think I think they might be there's other people that seem to forget other people to seem to get be forgotten with no real explanation why. And from what I've heard or what I've been able to glean, it might be the void that has taken over the old crew. They might be sort of back. I'm pretty sure someone tried to assassinate me. It's hard to remember it though, which kind of weird, right? Even with my well intellectual capacities, I guess you'd say. But still, I should remember that somebody was trying to kill me. But there's damage to my apartment, but I can't remember the incident.
And this is where Caviscado gets up and just kind of looks at you. I think they're probably as tall as you are,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, if not taller. And then just kind of like looks you in the eye and then just kind of like will actually like reach out and like kind of like raise one of your eyelids with like a thumb or something like that. And
Hey,
are you are you sure you're all right? I mean, like you sound like you've been concussed.
I've been concussed a couple of times. This is not that. And I've been blackout drunk a couple of times. This is not that.
Something so beautiful and yet so broken.
I don't know what you're talking about. Um, hey, look at that old thing over there. I think isn't that the drinks dispenser that we always used? It looks kind of broken.
Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to, well, beat some sense into this thing for, yeah, however long I've been here. Kind of lost track after maybe the 10th drink. Maybe I've been the one that break it. And then this is where, you know, they'll take their cybernetic paneled arm and then just kind of like smash it on top. And like we hear like this whir, click, 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 and drink machine's not working.
Uh, I mean, can always order a drink, I guess.
That's what I usually do.
Mm.
Do you remember that thing? And like over the actual bar,
Mhm.
there's there's this. I guess the only way to really describe it is like something like a long gun, like
Mhm.
like where it looks like an over barreled rifle for the most
Mhm.
part, but it looks like it's also like it could be like a thin laser cannon. And Denali just kind of like kind of points at it and says, "Remember when we used to use that?" And
Yeah, they're usually out of commission by now, right?
yeah, but I mean, you could still use it.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
just decorative anymore. You can still, it still serves a purpose in case
Yeah,
it needs
yeah,
to.
I guess you're right. And now Syrano reaches for it, of course, because why not? What could go wrong, right? And I think, yeah, waves it around a little. Says that was never my favorite weapon, kind of weapon. I'm more of a swords guy, but I realize that that is not. I mean, I guess we can still take this and, I mean, show these void thingies or whatever they are,
You
right?
think, you 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 think you think it's gonna come down to that again, huh?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think. I mean, I I thought about going at it alone. However, I mean, it would be easier if I just shot myself with this thing. So I need help, as usual. And I thought, why not? Why not go and, yeah, I guess, I'll ask you about coming with, I guess.
Without saying anything, Caviscado is going to take the big oversized rifle out of your hand and then do this weird thing with it and kind of like do a chambering mechanism with it with their cybernetic panel, with their cybernetic arm. And then it actually shrinks. Like it's almost like it telescopes into itself, into something that is more portable. And then they're able to attach it to the panel on their arm and saying, "Well, guess you got me then."
Yeah,
Things that have some use still, some purpose.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a question for you though.
No,
You still with Asher?
kind of hard to get rid. I mean, no, it's kind of, yes, I'm still with Asher. Asher is still with me.
And
I mean, yeah, yeah, that guy, right?
Caviscado doesn't say a damn thing after that. Just kind of gives that sad smile and, you know, nods. Lead the way. You didn't happen to get the old ship back, did you?
No, I got a different ship. I guess you think I'm still a bit of a loose end, right?
Well, I'd just be wondering about how many of those old voices you still hear.
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's not like I can't tell the difference between reality and what's in my head. Also, there are amazing drugs for that nowadays.
So long as it keeps you ready for when we
Yeah,
need you.
yeah, I'm ready. I've got my sword. I've got a ship. I hope I got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
go
like
on then.
basically, it's like they Caviscado will like chamber the the telescoped rifle and let me just put on like my duds though. This you probably don't want to be seeing all of this, like bare chested and like in their swimming skivvies. You probably
Oh,
don't want to see that.
I mean, you're still fine figure of a man, I guess.
Don't
Shouldn't have.
bullshit the bullshitter.
Oh
And then,
no,
like,
come
kind
on.
of shoves you with the cybernetic arm.
Give you a laugh and say, you don't believe me? It's all the truth.
Yeah. So I actually answered the one question about what makes you still doubt me, which is the the whole possible voices thing, and then
Mhm.
well, you said you were alone, but you're still with Asher, so it's like, what's going on there? Um, but I like
But
like my question to you would be, it's like anything of concern about me being invited back, besides the duds, of course.
um, I mean, if something's wrong, you'll tell me, right? You won't be like, oh no, I have to suffer in silence. Oh no, the captain doesn't need to know this, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Think I can let you know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So after the captain recruits the veteran, both of them draw a card. So we're going to go to the PCIO room. We're going to draw a card. Pick any deck, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to draw them face up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm drawing out face up.
Fine. And this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So black. If it's a black card, loyalties regained. This crew, like, I keep the card in my hand. Okay,
Mhm.
and I describe what why they want to believe in the other. So I believe in the captain because the captain was willing to invite me back onto the crew, even though I seem to have some doubt, and perhaps even the captain might even suspect what happened when, like, the legend of the Denali run, like, happened, where it's like I piloted us through the asteroid belt, but yet it was pure desperate cowardice that got us through rather than any piloting skill or what have you. So, I mean, as long as, we're fulfilling a purpose again, I think we can give the captain some loyalty. Now, with the red, you would go ahead and put that into the enemy hand. So you would go ahead and put that card on the enemy hand that I just put there. Yep.
Mhm.
And the enemy grows stronger. The player, so you would describe, Sabine,
Mhm.
a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying. And then actually you would turn it over, so put it face down.
Mhm.
Okay, so go ahead
I
and,
just saw that. Okay.
yeah.
I think what we see as the two of them, Syrano and, I'm sorry, what's your characters named Denali, are leaving the resort. I think you can sense, maybe near the pool, close to the vending machine, and sense a presence. It's kind of hard to look at that. But for a second, think you see a person standing there, looking at the lounge chair where Denali was resting, making a weird gesture, and the lounge chair kind of starts to decay. And the person says something like, "You won't escape us."
Amazing. Cool. All right. Next montage.
Is this strange, or is
Mhm.
it's the strange, right?
Should be should be in the strange, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Scroll, scroll, scroll. There we go.
Page
No,
18. Yep.
yep, I found it. Scraping the bottom of the barrel, are we? This takes place in the laboratory that is the Strange's home. Both the captain and the Strange briefly describe the laboratory, a sentence or two each. So I leave that to you. Is the first thing.
Yeah. I can start. I mean, at first it's quite simple. It's a kind of circular, like spherical room with a gangway going to the middle and a kind of large device descending from the ceiling, and beneath it a sort of oscillating, eye-hurting sort of crystalline construct spinning and turning in place, with a kind of colored glow at its heart and something pulsating and strangely alive. Um, and it's not clear whether the device is sort of a support for that entity or a prison.
And from the detail I describe, I think what you hear amidst the thrum of the machine that you described, you can hear very faintly a heartbeat. Yeah, I think the captain, Syrano, will walk in and then put on his sunglasses because the strobing light is kind of weird. Also, they look hella cool, right? And wander over a little uncertainly and say, Tesseract, the Tesseract, are you in there? I want to talk to you, please.
I think perhaps there's a sort of uncomfortably long pause, and then the sort of colors shift and go from a kind of strobing to a steady blue, and you hear, Captain, how pleasant of you to visit me here.
Yeah, yes, I come with a purpose. I probably don't have to ask you whether or not you remember the people who were taken over by the void from our crew, because I think you will remember that unless you've excised it. Not sure. Would you do that?
I cannot forget such a thing. It beats at the back of my consciousness every minute, every second of the day. I feel them breaking against the walls of this reality. How could I forget, Captain?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping, because as you say, they're trying to break through. I think they are. I think they are breaking through. I think they are not just breaking through, they might be, I mean, maybe they're just after me, but I wouldn't actually bet on it because you were there too. And I want to face them again, but I don't think I can do it without you.
I worry, if that is the term, that you cannot do it with me, that I am in fact the cause of the problem. Have you considered that bringing my Tesseract to the heart of them will give them exactly what they wish?
No, I actually haven't. I mean, you're the one who can figure this out. I got Denale for the, if we have to fight, but if we have to think, I mean, not to slander Denali. He's clever. I give him that. But for the weirder stuff, you wouldn't think I could figure this out, right?
We find the crux. I am, and ever will be, the weirder stuff. Yes, apt, if a little direct, Captain.
I didn't mean it like that. I was trying to say that you are the one who can figure this out because you are very intelligent. I didn't mean to suggest that any. Well, now I'm babbling. I apologize. Look, I need you, and I think this reality might need you too.
I have been considering the matter of our imminent demise since this incursion began, and I believe, I hope, that you are correct. I will be transported by you.
Yeah, I think while we were talking, one of these things in your machines starts beeping, I guess. And amidst the experimental array, some kind of mini void opens up.
I think the Tesseract sort of, you can see the void sort of reflected in the facets of the Tesseract, and it's not clear if the Tesseract is looking into the void, but all of the sort of equipment is humming, and then suddenly it just snaps off again. And I think I have to ask a question now, don't I? Which is, why are you relieved to see me at this moment, even in this strange sort of environment?
I am relieved because you are still, well, because you're still talking to me, I guess. That's what makes me relieved, that you're not just closing me off or leaving this dimension. You're still talking to me. That's a relief.
And how have I not changed at all?
I mean, I think you are still kind of self-conscious about being called weird. That, yeah.
Same prickliness and defensiveness
Yeah.
on brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And what important work are you doing here while we're at it?
I think you can see that the machine is hooked up to big, like, what, banks of storage and, like, sort of subordinate sort of supercomputers. And it's not clear what kind of calculations that have been happening, but there's enough about computers and machines to know that this is like an incredible amount of backup storage. So it must be very large in sort of data terms. But as always, not clear to you what it is.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I was skipping ahead to conducting the visit. I was choosing an experiment solely finishes, announcing startling discovery.
Okay, so I'll shape that into one of the replies then. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's another one of the portals opens. After a pause, you hear the voice again saying, "Have you considered, Captain, that for every nightmare we unleash on this world, there might be another world that is full of wonders, that is perfect? For every nightmare, there is a utopia, but we would never know unless we visited them all."
I can honestly say that I have never considered this. It is a very beautiful thought, though. See, that's why I need you, because you have thoughts like that.
Sometimes I feel things leaking through these rents, Captain. Some of them are horrors, others like a fragrance of something beautiful. But I'll never know for sure. And then I think just stops at that in a sort of mid sentence. And I think I get to do one now, like introduce
Yes.
a new one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about this. I think at this point, like a laboratory, like a scientist sort of walks in one of those big white, sci-fi kind of doctor's coats with the high collars, and says, "I'm here for the data. Download it to this portable device," and just plugs the device in, and looks very brusque and says, "The terms of your imprisonment are that you provide us with actionable data." And you hear this sort of pause and then transferring in this very resentful way as the technician connects a sort of like a memory device or something to one of the consoles.
Yeah, I think I need to intervene here, and I say, "Excuse me, don't know who you are. I, however, am Syrano of House Quinlan. I am visiting with my friend here, and if you want something from them, have you considered using the word please?
So don't exchange pleasantries with the entity.
That's my friend you're talking about.
It's way above my pay grade to debate that, but
Indeed, it is above your pay grade. So is it being polite above your pay grade as well?
I think you hear the voice again from the Tesseract saying, "There have been some accidents, Captain. I think you should leave, technician." And it sort of backs out and moves away with the memory device. My research is not always wholly safe.
There's no reason not to treat you like with the modicum of respect. I mean, stuff I've been doing has also had consequences, as you well know, and still people say please, most of them at least. Well, okay, I guess I see your point.
When they look at the Tesseract, they do not see a person. It is sad for them that they are limited in this way, but I have come to accept it.
You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to accept that. Not much I can do about it, but to me, I think you're a person. So
In the spirit of human adventure, can we now arrange a jailbreak? I would like to be free of this place.
God, we're never going to ask.
It's a good place to stop, I reckon.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think we have to end the visit now.
Yes, with the questions for each of you.
Yes.
Like, ask each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So Tesseract, or do you prefer the Tesseract?
I think people describe the Tesseract as the Tesseract, but the Tesseract itself is fairly relaxed about what it's called.
Okay. So how do I give you fragile hope?
The fact that people still believe that there is a solution to what seems an intractable problem, and just the optimism, the energy that the captain's always had, the sort of can-do attitude, it always gives hope even in the direst of situations. And I think I ask you, what makes you doubt me?
The experiments. I think when this weird void broke through, I think the captain heard a voice for a moment. And so he's not too sure about this whole thing you're talking about or how close you are to the void, but still, you're the best chance he has to figure out shit. So yeah, well, I mean, I won't ask what could go wrong because I think Syrano has learned what can go wrong, but still the best option he has. And we're
And now we
doing,
both draw our card,
yeah,
don't we?
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Draw a card. Let's see how that looks.
This is my card. Yes, it's black. Oh,
Oh no, I got red.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. So again, black is where the crew member keeps the card in their hand and they
mhm.
describe what they want to believe in each other. So, yeah, I mean, Captain, you would describe what you want to believe in the strange.
Mhm. I want to believe that they are actually on the side that doesn't want to erase humanity, I guess. That's what I hope.
Okay.
That's my hope. Yes, that's my hope. They're on sort of on my side.
Okay. All right. And
And I think sorry,
yep.
go
And
ahead.
then James, since you drew the red card, you of course have to describe a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying and then turn the card over face down.
I think another later on in the facility, we just see like the alert, the alarm lights flashing, and the technicians are all dead. and one remaining technician walks towards the machine that Tesseract was in, eyes black and like the sort of rotting, like miasma sort of following behind. And then we just see them like downloading the data from the machines, and taking it away.
Damn. Okay. All right, now we have the Steadfast recruitment. Okay.
Oh. So this takes place in the home that kept the captain safe all these years. I assume that means that the Steadfast is still there. So what does that look like?
Yeah, both the captain and the steadfast briefly describe the home, a sentence or two each.
Yeah.
Do you want to start off, or do you want me to start off?
Yeah, you go start off.
I'm trying to imagine, since this is sci-fi, the home is probably advanced, but would we be living in the city? Do you think we're out somewhere alone so you can avoid interacting with people? Because I think that would determine my sentence a lot.
I think it would be somewhere close to bars, I guess.
Okay. All right. So it's definitely okay. So it's a flat, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It is a flat that is probably in the center of like the nightlife, not necessarily the center of the city. Um, it's a place where you can get to everything in walking distance, or you can take some sort of like hover
Okay.
vehicle. And so
Yeah.
I imagine we're in some sort of like high, like some like maybe at the top or upper half of a like skyscraper type apartment complex or home housing complex.
Yeah. And I think we see some complimentary portraits of older Quinlan ancestors that have been foisted upon this mansion and are hanging there, looking very critically at whatever is going on.
Yeah. And I think I do want to add one last thing. I imagine that there is like entries that are both through the building where you can get to the elevator, as well as your hoverboard or whatever hovering device out through that. So it's almost like a small personal docking area.
Cool. Sorry, I should ask you. I should ask you, what mundane chore do I interrupt?
I think that Asher's in the midst of like probably doing repairs on the one of the vehicles, because I imagine one or both of us are not particularly like conservative in our use of transportation, and whichever was the result of the last bit of probably overrunning of the engine, I'm trying to like do some repairs on that.
And our second question would be, what have I done to make you suspicious? And I don't know what you would be suspicious of, but just.
Well, I think what you've done to make Asher suspicious is that there's probably like a routine, and you've been gone longer than your normal routine. Like, because of course you probably go out on the town. I mean, this is where the nightlife is, but maybe you were gone a day or two longer than what would be normally expected. Like maybe you might have been gone. I think you were like gone for maybe a week, which is pushing like the realm of believability that nothing unusual is going on. So I'll be like, so you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I am back, and I sure remember that thing with the void people back when.
Mm. Yeah, the thing that s- we've continued to prepare for when we eventually do something about it. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because I think we have to do something about that now, because you remember when my room exploded and I couldn't remember? I don't think it was that lady with the green dress. That was maybe a fit. I think it was
Mm.
one of them.
I think it replies to it very under like, well, I mean, like, really? I w-
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so that I'm not okay, fine. I've recruited Denali and the Tesseract to help us out with this whole thing.
Didn't they sort of abandon us the first time?
Well, I mean, not really. Didn't I think it was more the other way around, actually, a little. But I mean, we need them. Asher, you know that, right? We can't do it without the Tesseract. I mean, I can't do it without the Tesseract. I don't think you can. And I mean, I know you're very capable, but having two very capable people is better than one, right? You want to ask me those questions?
Sure, I need to find. It's like I'm not sure. I only see. It seemed like I see moments. Is where are the actual questions?
The page before that, 25, it's under conducting the no, it's before conducting the conversation.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Mhm.
The Steadfast asks Captain, how different am I from when we first met? What do you love most about me at this moment?
I think, yeah, the difference is you are more, well, I mean, you're still intense, but it's nothing to the way you were intense before.
Hmm.
Or maybe I'm just getting used to your intensity. That's also, and I love that about you, that you're like, yeah, sure, we are going to do that. But you're not starting to debate stuff or tell
Hmm.
me how I'm wrong about things. Uh, and yeah, that you're just taking this whole thing in stride. And also that you can absolutely that you I also love that you absolutely could tell when I was lying to you and didn't say anything. So yeah, yeah. Um, Oh, I
So,
need, yeah, go ahead.
so where are we meeting up then? Where are we restarting all this?
Wait a minute. Ooh. I'm just trying to figure out the moments here a little. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think I'll say let me check, and I'm choosing that I'm working on a project. I invite you to sit with me as we speak. I've been working on some things because you know the this little box sound box that my therapist gave me to kind of counteract the voices that I hear. I think I have Syrano takes out this box with a lot of buttons and he starts fiddling with them. Like I think I figured out how to make it so that I can actually hear them better. And he kind of, yeah.
I, th- I think whatever gizmo or doohickey I'm using to repair things, I like sit it down and like turn away from it because I think this whole time we were talking, I was continuing to work on it, and that kind of got me to stop. And I put the wrench to the side, pick up a rag, clean my hands off, and like before I turn and look at you before I say anything else, and it was like Is that a good idea?
Probably not, but I'm a little out of ideas.
Well, I'll be honest, if you're going to do something like that, I prefer you do it before the others get here.
They're all already on the ship. So yeah, that was my thought actually. Thank you. Yeah.
Especially, especially the Tesseract.
Uh, yeah, I mean they'll just be very polite.
I hope that's all that happens.
Yeah, so do I actually. Oh, that was the button. Yes, yes. Oh no. Okay, I don't need to hear them now. I don't need to hear them now. But knowing when to tune in is maybe a good idea, right?
Hmm. Oh, so do I do a moment now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the ones we care for sense a growing tension and come to us expecting answers. So do I frame that or
Yeah.
do I okay. So I actually think that we are interrupted when we get like a call on on a comm system
Mhm.
and it kind of cuts off that particular conversation momentarily as we get contacted by one of like one of the people we've been working with since we've decided not to take up the fight anymore. So I imagine it was like some of the old like war buddies, people who kind of needed help afterwards because
Mhm.
you're not the only person who was needing therapy and that sort of thing. So I imagine there was people we stayed in contact with,
Mhm.
more of the people who could not continue to fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And they need something, right?
Yeah. So I imagine they're calling because they're in need of something, and they're like, I think they actually call with news. Like news is like the have you has anything strange been happening with you two? Because I've been having some odd reports from some of the people, some of our old buddies, and I wanted to check in to see if y'all were dealing with the same thing.
I don't think you need to worry about this. I mean, this situation is totally in hand. We've got it covered. There are some things that we need to take care of, but we have some experts. We'll look into the situation, and I think it will be resolved in a jiffy. And
Oh
I'm
no.
lying through my teeth.
Like, hold on one. So you know what's happening then? What is
It,
it?
it's a
Because I think they
very
didn't know. I think you just gave them
yeah
more information
yeah
they had.
fair. It's totally fair. And I'm like yeah this is confidential information. Remember, like when we left the military or were drummed out of the military, we signed some NDAs. I can't tell you. It's all hush hush.
Yeah.
I will
I
tell you
mean,
once we're back. Over what was that drink you favored? The midnight combustion?
yeah. I mean, one of my favorite drinks, actually, the thing that's most readily at hand is usually my favorite. But yeah, that's a pretty
Uh,
good one.
yeah, yeah. On taps on me.
I'm definitely gonna hold you to that, but I definitely want to hear this story because I've been hearing a lot of weird things.
Ah, don't worry about it. People always talk weird shit.
All
So
right, all right,
yeah. Yep. Okay. I'll
and
turn off the call and then turn to Asher and say, I hope I was telling the truth.
I mean, you don't know. I figure you're the first person to be able to know if you're telling the truth.
no, I was just, I mean, I hope I'm telling the truth, that we've got it under control and everything will be resolved and be a nice story.
Yeah. Educated guess, that definitely counts for something.
So, let's go. Let's draw cards.
Yeah. Too many windows open now.
Oh, you wanna? Did you want to end the conversation with those questions?
Oh,
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
I know we like to draw
Yeah.
cards, but
Oh, yeah.
ask the
Yeah, yeah,
questions.
yeah. What will cost me your loyalty? Sure.
I think you lying to me about what you know.
Mm.
Like if you were to give me an answer like you just gave them, I don't think I would accept it.
Yeah, that's fair. Um,
And my question to you is, why am I not enough for you?
I think because I've never thought about it actually, about you being enough. You were always there, catching up my mistakes, and I was never even considering it because it was kind of like how things were. And I've never thought that you were like that sounds terrible to say that I've never really considered your perspective of things, which I should have, but I have not realized that. Because
Fair.
as you might have noticed, I'm I'm not a very smart person.
Slightly self-involved, but
Yeah,
knew that
yeah,
before. Knew that before, so
yeah, yeah,
I accepted it before. I can't just be
yeah,
mad about it now.
yeah, 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 sorry.
Before or after the rejuvenating packs?
I probably have to remind the captain of like, yeah, we still have that stash. Really need.
I don't really, do you think I really need them?
Uh, no,
Okay, good. You will tell me if you think I shouldn't, you know? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll tell you because you've asked me to. Whether it'll upset you or not, I mean,
I
I
will
can't.
not.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely tell you.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and draw a card each.
This was mine. Oh, it's a red one.
Oh,
Also
More
red.
red.
god damn!
Oh, no.
Oh.
This is not great.
Okay, so you each have to
Did we shuffle these decks?
describe.
No.
No, because you can't shuffle without recalling all the cards back. Shit.
Okay.
No, don't do it. Okay, so
Oh,
you
that's
each have to
grim.
you each have to describe a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
God.
Oh, you got an idea?
I do. Do we each have to? Does it have to be
Yeah.
separate ones, or what? Can we
Yeah.
work together? As or is it like my idea is to like when the call with the person we talked to on the phone finished, like
Ooh.
the body drops to the ground out of the grasp of an individual that's like hidden in shadows.
Mm.
And as soon as this, it is almost like this weird thing where they show the body on the ground and the expression kind of just fades away from its face as it's no longer receiving the nerve. I mean, so it stops in this half expression between the real living face, like facial expression, and where it halted it as it no longer stopped being, it was no longer being puppeted.
Mm. Yes. I love that. That totally. Yes.
Harsh.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have one, Sabine?
Oh, should I also tell? Okay, I can.
If you have one, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I think what also happens when Syrano and Asher leave, I think you will see one of these things just peel through or off a shadow and look after them and look at the device that they use to communicate, and it will say, "You will be so alone."
oh, yeah, God. Horrifying. Horrifying. Oh my God. Scary. Okay. Yeah, these enemies, man, they're scaring the shit out of me. Okay, great. Um, all right, so we have the recruitment montage, and now we can start playing mini games. All right, so for the extended version, this is just in general since we have more than 2 sessions. Okay, everyone gets to choose at least 3 mini games to play before we can get to the grand finale, which is the Once More Into the Void. Okay, so some of these can be played more than once, of course, like with different characters and all this kind of stuff. There's a few that can be done with all of the characters together, like the training montage one, of course. But again, we can just go at it like in any order for the most part. um yeah, so we would just pick. We have time for, I think, one mini game. Excuse me, one mini game before I want to just kind of close out the session and then do a quick stars and wishes because I don't want to go over time. Okay, so um, is there any of these um, games that you would like to play? It doesn't have to be with all of us. It could be just whomever wants to have a excuse me, a scene. Sorry, I was so intent upon looking. It's like I didn't notice you were speaking. I'm sorry.
Oh
Did you
no,
have
no,
an
no.
idea for which game?
I don't know if I necessarily need to be in it, but the who do you, who do you think you are? This seems like it would be a great scene.
With whom in it?
I don't know.
I mean, they're all great. The problem is, it's like I know some of them should be done later on as we build up more tension, or
Hmm.
before the big the big grand finale. But yeah, I'm trying to
Hmm.
decide which makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think the training montage where everybody is there might be a good point a good starting point, maybe.
That's what I
So
was going to say too, because we only have room for one. It would be good if it was an everyone one,
Sure.
and then we can do the two by two ones like at in the next session.
Great, great, great. Okay,
Sounds good.
that sounds good. Alrighty. So let's see. Training to get ready. Okay. One shot to make it right. Is that the one? Okay. Only one shot to make it right is a mini game for all crew members. It's about training to get ready for the final mission while navigating an emotional minefield. This is everyone's chance to prove they're ready for whatever comes, or that they still have unaddressed feelings that need to be confronted here and now. Okay, so, Captain, you decide where the training session takes place. There's some suggestions right there, but you can make up anything you want, you think. Do you think our ship is big enough to do it on ship, or you
damn
think
it, I was talking on mute. I'm so sorry.
we're great at this? It's great.
Yeah. Well, okay then. No, I thought maybe it is actually the whole old friend thing.
Okay.
Maybe it's an old friend of
Oh, nice.
Caviscado's, who is also
Oh,
a
nice.
veteran and could
Yes.
offer us a training facility, probably not even a very high class one, but one that is a bit out of the way and is not will not be so super noticeable. Because I think Syrano thinks that it is better if we avoid super public places, right? Maybe get away from the enemy, get ahead of the enemy,
Yes.
because Syrano thinks the enemy is way behind and has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
Wow.
yeah, I think Denali has some old contact, and like she's pretty she's pretty tough. Like she has been a trainer. She has also been like a squad leader in previous iterations and such. So she kind of has done this before, and she opened up her own training facility. But as you say, I mean, like she knows that certain things cannot be done in the open. It cannot be like really associated with uh, above board, surface level uh, organizations. So, yeah, she's literally underground. So her
Mhm.
facility, like Denali will say, it's like look, we've got to go see Carmen. She's not gonna have anything that we can go into the skies for. We have to go search for her down in the trenches. All right. So just don't piss her off. And he leads you down like this maze of passageways underneath certain buildings, and then like you finally make your way to this sort of labyrinthian place that you wouldn't have expected a training facility to be, but it is. I mean, like once you open up into it, it looked like full on gym. There's like an obstacle course. There's a facilities
Mhm.
for what is it, shooting target practice and
Mhm.
such like that.
Shooting range.
Yeah, shooting range, and like high ceilings and so forth, even like this low underground. And yeah, it's like she
Oh,
offers it to us. So
yeah.
and
Okay.
I hope the House Quinlan has a few extra credits in its coffers. Kind of.
Yes. Yeah, sure. I will give you whatever. No, not whatever, but will this be enough? And I think Syrano holds out. I don't think credits, but it's kind of it's not it's sort of a credit card.
Mhm.
So okay, you'd need to check it, but you can keep it, and it has the family name on it. Maybe you can do something with that.
I mean, and like
There, there.
Caviscado's like eyebrows raised. It's like, are you sure?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It's my sister's.
Is she? Uh,
But she brought you notice. She was at our place at our with her latest shopping spree, and she was super impolite to Asher. And I thought, well, maybe you don't need your credit card all that much.
uh, okay then. I guess we'll do this quick then. And
Hmm.
then Carmen, do it now. And like Carmen is like this Amazon of a woman who's like really built, but still like statuesque and really like goddess looking. And she'll just like smile, and then she'll like where Caviscado's sad, she is cheerful. All right. And she just kind of gives a smile to all of you, and then she'll just kind of run the card with a smirk, not even looking at the card reader. And she'll be, well, I mean, Quinlan money is good anywhere, right?
And my sister would be totally into you, honestly.
Oh, even better. Have her come by and train with me directly.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe if I hear from her, we anyway. What's this thing do?
And yeah, I mean, like she'll give a tour for the different facilities, and so she'll go over the obstacle course, which has either like just general obstacle course, like like for completely physical means, or like it has settings where you can make it more dangerous, like where things will fire at you or things will move, so things are uncertain and uneven. There's also the the target range, so moving targets or like the stationary targets that will just move backwards or more forwards depending on what you need. And then it's like having deja vu. Um,
Mhm.
and then just like other ways to like fight each other, like like little training rings. Oh, and then also like races. So
Ooh.
mini obstacle courses that you have to get through in a timed pace, but against each other.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
What do they call those? I forget what it's called. Oh man.
Time trials.
Yeah, time trials. Yeah. So, but you're going against each other in the same field. So yeah. So she's got stuff like that too. Um, yeah. Yeah. You tell me what you need, and I will probably have it here. If not here in the big room, then definitely in one of the side chambers.
So tempted.
So, yeah.
But we should train.
Yes. So everyone decides how they're training and what circumstances lead to the training. Each crew member describes what has changed about them since we last saw them. So, and during the training session, anyone may ask for details about the locations, relationships, or circumstances. Beginning with the crew member who has the most to prove, go around the table. On your turn, choose a challenge you are facing, and then choose another crew member who takes on this challenge with you, and then ask them the included questions. They answer freely. When everyone's had a turn, the crew member who impressed everyone chooses an ending to the training session. Okay. So, yeah, I think Caviscado is like the one most out of shape. I think we've seen that between the outdated cybernetics and just like kind of their body getting a little flabby. I mean, like maybe they're feeling a little insecure, and so maybe they'll. Let's see. Hold on. Modify the weapons. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's the one that they're gonna pick. Hold on. Let me see. Just double checking. Da, 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 da. Yeah, choosing a challenge. So, I think because of knowing Carmen, I think Caviscado is gonna like help ask for her help to modify their weapons, but also ask the Tesseract. You have a good idea how I can push my equipment. And then like the question is, do you patiently teach me how to or take over brusquely, and why? So
I think the Tesseract will just say like, we've spoken about this before, Caviscado. I could put a crystal into your weapon that could fire a ray of such power that it would rip through the walls of this reality. But that would not be a practical or proportionate weapon for hand-to-hand combat. Uh, would you like it to be a really small crystal instead? Perhaps we could only punch a small hole in reality.
I mean, preferably the tiniest hole possible. I mean, I want to disable whoever I'm firing at. I don't want to be creating some of the things that, well, you know, that we saw last time. Last time. You understand that, right?
Although perhaps it takes a reality-rending weapon to fight an extra-dimensional enemy. Leave it with me.
I mean, look, Tess, I need to make sure that everything about my equipment, including my cybernetics, I mean, like, literally, like, Caviscado's getting closer to you, Tesseract. I mean, like, like, as if talking to a regular person, like, as if you need to have me close up to you and whisper in your ear, but yet it's like, that's silly, right? But they're still doing it anyway. And it's like, look, just, I need to make sure everything's up to date. Is there any way to do that? I mean, look at me. I mean, I gotta get this flab off of me. I mean, like, Carmen will work me out, of course, but I mean, is there anything that you can help me to do about my equipment? I'm feeling a little shoddy here. What can I do?
You wish for an upgrade, yes.
Yes, yes. I mean, is there any way to do that? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to spend the hell out of that Quinlan credit card. You know what I'm saying? But also, don't want to Don't want to not, look a gift horse in the mouth.
I think after some sort of cajoling, you're given a handful of tiny little crystalline chips. Each one could roughly fit inside the sort of cylinder that powers a weapon or a cybernetic implant. And the Tesseract says to you, I will not be held responsible for the effects of these, but they are truly one of the most advanced power sources available beyond what is available to humanity.
I mean, and
You,
go ahead.
no, go on, sorry.
No, I mean, it was just like, and Caviscado will kind of like hold one tiny one up to their eye, like with wonder, and go, "Oh, freaking amazing! Did you shit these things out yourself? I mean,
You
look
don't
at
want
it."
to know the answer to that.
No, I probably don't. And then he'll like immediately like just kind of like shake a panel loose, and then like kind of drop it into one of them, and then just immediately like you see it's almost like they're taking a drag of something, and you see like this glow on their arm, and it kind of like just kind of like infuses into their into their body a little bit, and they're like, oh, it's like taking the best bit of some Venusian juice there. Oh, and then like they'll start dropping it into their other cybernetics, and then also put it into that telescoping gun, into the telescoping rifle that they had, and see it like have some sort of weird glow to it as well. I guess now I have to start working out to make sure I can actually stand while I'm using these things. Damn it. All right.
There's one
Well,
thing I can guarantee. These will harm the things we seek.
good to know. Good to know. But can I tell you something, Tess?
I think you will, whether I say yes or not.
Yeah, true. Just just hoping there won't be any regrets doing so, right?
Nothing is certain in a chaotic cosmos, my friend.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And they'll reach out as if to slap you on the back. I mean, as a construct as you are, but like, do they pass? Did their hand pass? Does their hand pass through you, or does it
I
actually
think
meet some kind of solidity?
I think it probably feels kind of gelid, but it makes your hands like as if they've gone to sleep, like you've sat on them when you
Ah,
do it.
I forgot about how that made me feel. Damn it. All right. Mm. But thank you. Now to go get slapped silly by Carmen. Thanks.
And you sort of see a slight glow that you've come to understand is just like a nod, the equivalent of a nod.
Okay. All right.
Is it sheet order? How do we figure out who go? Is it just or whoever feels like they've
Whoever.
got? Hmm.
It was basically like who had the most to prove, and I figured like the veteran had the most to prove. So, you know, whoever thinks they're next, you just pick a challenge, and then you pick somebody else to do it with you.
Right. So who do we feel has the most to prove next? The next most to prove. I'm not even sure. I guess the captain.
I've already proved that I could swipe my sister's credit card. Also,
That's true.
also, I've talked so much this session. I'm
Yeah,
fine
yeah,
with
yeah. Fair,
with
fair, fair.
not. I mean, I have to do mine, but I'm fine with
Yeah,
not.
I'll
being the
go next.
captain's
Yeah,
hard. Yeah, because you have to
yeah,
in this first session you have to talk so much.
yeah. I'll let me see. I'll do like I ask you to spar and go harder than I intended. I'm trying to imagine maybe that Asher will spar with Caviscado because that makes sense. Like
Okay,
it would,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Especially after you got your new upgrades,
Yeah, but I mean,
probably
like,
illegal.
right. I mean, but then like probably Carmen like is like, more than not kind because it's like, maybe
Hmm.
she's taking it out on them and then saying it's like, no, you need to go and get challenged by your young teammate there. And so she sends you to to fight with me or me to fight with you, that's
Hmm.
right. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. Um because you're raring for a fight, but yeah. Um
Yeah.
okay. And then so you're asking me to spar, but then you go harder than you intended?
Hmm.
Oh.
Do you keep up with me and disarm me, humiliate me, or do you take the worst of it, leaving me guilty? Why?
Ooh, okay. Hold on. Let me look at my sheet again. Hmm. Well, okay. So first, how are we gonna spar? Are we sparring with weapons, or are we sparring like hand to hand? What are we doing?
Hmm. I think we might be sparring with like weapons.
Okay.
Like maybe like a one like maybe either like a knife or a baton or something like
Ah.
one-handed
Okay.
type weapon.
Okay. Great. Yeah. So I think. Yeah. I think Caviscado will actually keep up with you and
Right?
disarm you.
Right?
Because for hand to hand stuff, I mean, like, um, they're they're still skilled. They're still very skilled,
Hmm.
and they will use their experience to use their movement efficiently, knowing the weapon pretty well, the basics of the weapon, that they won't move too much to tire themselves out. They'll let you tire yourself out since you seem to have a lot of energy to burn. And then just do defensive positioning or dodge out of the way just enough to not get hit too hard or to avoid the hardest of the blows and then just let you wear yourself out. And then finally when there's a good opening, they'll just kind of like do a flick with their weapon and disarm you and move your weapon like across the room. And that, son, is called a disarm.
I pick up like we'll say I'll snatch up the weapon and like I'm not your son.
No, you're not.
Good to see that you haven't let everything go.
There's some things you just can't forget. Fortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
The
I
important
hope
thing is, are you okay?
as long as you think you'll stay loyal to the captain the whole way through.
That's a funny thing to ask. Yeah, I'm gonna stay loyal to the captain.
Didn't seem like there was a lot of trust in the last time things came to an end. That's why the captain left.
Well, maybe if the captain didn't run from the people that that got changed, maybe it wouldn't seem like we deserted. I got us out. That's the important thing, too. But I got loyalty to the captain and believing in me. All right? Believing in me and my skills.
Apparently, she, apparently that's the case because he came to get you and let you know he's ready to start over.
Are you jealous? Did you want?
Jealous?
Did you
No,
want? Did you want them to? Did you want them to depend on you the whole way, and not need anyone else?
wanted to keep the people involved that needed to be involved to finish this off. Bringing in additional people just get unnecessary people hurt and have extra extra complications that we might not need to have.
Well, from what I hear, complications were going to happen anyway, so might as well be where safety in numbers.
Guess we're gonna find out.
Yes, we will.
Got more training to do.
Yep, we do. Keep at it. And then another round. And that sad smile goes maybe a little bit more cheerful.
Yeah. I think he like does a whole bone cracking thing with her arm, and it's like, of course.
I mean, you will notice like there is more of a a sweat sheen to
Hmm.
Caviscado than you have. So,
Hmm.
like they do have to work harder. It's fine.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How does Tesseract? I just out of curiosity, how does Tesseract train?
Well,
That
that's
was
how
gonna be.
I was thinking I might actually do that for my next one.
Okay.
I think I'll pull the captain in for this one just because it seems to sort of. But I think basically, while everyone's doing sort of testing their physical prowess and their fitness and everything, there's like a shooting range with all these kind of moving targets, and you see like Tesseract just floating there almost like it like not even paying attention, barely just shooting these sort of rays of like heat at all the targets, almost like at boredom, just like crisping them all. And then after a while of that, of just like this sort of just shooting every single target perfectly in the center and disintegrating it, it just stops, and then the simulation stops, and Tesseract goes this kind of purple color that's like a sort of maudlin color. And I think the captain might be walking past and hear like the voice coming from the Tesseract saying, "Am I capable of nothing more than indiscriminate destruction?"
So I think Captain will look at you and say, well, indiscriminate destruction might be what we need in this case. I mean,
Am I simply here to destroy? Am I is that why I was created? To scheme and to destroy?
I can't speak to why we're actually created. I mean, look, I know you think you're very different from us, and you are in most respects, but none of us know why we were created. Okay, maybe I was created so that my house would have an heir or something like that. But still, why I specifically? They probably didn't want me specifically anyway. And I'm babbling. I'm sorry. No, look, you don't know why you were created. A lot of people don't. The thing is, and this is a fortune cookie wisdom, I'm pretty sure it's what you choose to do with yourself. And in this situation, what we were in, destruction might be the thing we need. I mean, maybe we can talk our way through this, but we tried that the last time. It didn't go so well.
I think there's quite a long pause and the colors shift within the Tesseract, and you just hear very quietly, "But why am I so good at killing?"
I mean, you're good at other things too. Maybe you're just generally good at things.
I hope for all of our sakes that you're right, Captain. I would like to be good at other things that give life.
Well, maybe after this is done, you can learn gardening. And I think the captain will sort of give you a slight slap on your whatever surface is, like he would give somebody a slap on the shoulder or something, an encouraging kind of touch. And he's very good at hiding how uncomfortable the feeling of your skin makes him.
Plants are as much a mystery to me as people. That would be a fitting challenge.
Well, I can't help you there. I don't get people either.
You're also quite good at killing, Captain. But you've done other things, many more than I have. I sometimes feel that all I do is lead to destruction.
Yeah, but the other things that I do, I usually mess up. So guess we're in the same boat.
Is it truly a blessing to be good at things that lead to anguish in others?
You should totally talk to Denale. He has got some books about this whole thing that he can recommend you. And I know he thinks about stuff like that.
I think
Personally, I avoid that.
There's this sort of noise that sounds a bit like a chuckle, and the last thing that the Tesseract says is, "It seems that in self-pity I am perfectly human."
Gives you another slight slap, a little less touchy than before, but you know. Yeah.
And then the zapping begins again. The cycle renews, and the zapping begins.
Okay. Did you want to pick one, Sabine, before we try to pick whichever?
I think I need to, right? Okay. So I think, yeah. Who do I want to do this? I think this needs to be with Asher.
Okay.
Because it's he knows me best. And I remember these race tracks where we can race the clock or each other. And you see Syrano just taking this little hover thing and disabling various security thingies. Yeah, because you're faster without brakes, basically. I mean, you are, right?
Yep. Until you're not.
Yeah, well, do you talk me out of it, or do you tempt me to push it even further?
I don't talk you out of it because I feel like you have been reticent for a while. So seeing you doing something to push yourself like this, I am definitely going to be on the side of enabling that because that is the captain we needed. We need.
Cool. So I will look at you, and once I'm done with my funny modifications, I will say, well, you wanna try this out? And I'm faster than you.
I've already made modifications to mine. Let's see.
Who's faster? No, there are no and I think, yeah, I think this, how does this go? Should we just decide how this goes, or should we leave it to somebody goes at the endings? No.
I mean, it could always just be this race starts and we never find out who won it type thing.
Oh yeah, I like that.
One of us cheats to start, which I think it's probably the captain that tries to get the head start. And
We don't have to
Yeah.
see the ending of the
Right.
No,
race.
no,
No.
I think what we see when the captain shows up again is several bruises and a stim patch somewhere on their ribs, but it's fine. It's totally fine. It worked.
Yeah.
And he will look at Asher and say, "See, I told you it'll work."
Yeah, I'm probably carrying both of ours.
Yeah.
Because you
Yep.
need to be patched up a little bit.
Yep.
And then Carmen just kind of looks at you both and says, "Ah, you signed the waiver. Any damages goes to House Quinlan, of course."
Of course. House Quinlan will be so happy to pay.
Swipe.
No. It's already on file. There's no swipe.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. It's already on there. Anyway,
There's a tablet that ticked up a number by one.
by one, a few more, whatever the currency is, for sure.
All right.
Okay. All right. So when everyone's had a turn, the crew member who impressed everyone chooses an ending to the training session. So who impressed everyone? I don't know.
Was pretty impressed with Denali.
Yeah, I'll say Denali.
That's what I was thinking too. It was very
Aw.
kind of Rocky Revival-esque.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aw. All right. Ending to the training session. Let's see. Train hard, get much better, but push ourselves over the edge, reveal a vulnerability to the enemy. Too distracted to focus and plant a seed of doubt in everyone. We ask ourselves, can we really do this? Will this be a suicide mission? We train well, almost too well. At least one of us will learn to forgive someone for the unforgivable. We train poorly and take it out on each other. Who's to blame for all this? I don't like... crap. You know what? I'm just gonna give ourselves an edge. I think we train hard and get much better, but push ourselves over the edge. We revealed a vulnerability to the enemy. Let's give
Ooh,
ourselves like a little bit of an
nice.
edge here. What kind of vulnerability does the enemy have? Because we were talking about like the dimensional rifts possibility, you know.
Do we reveal a vulnerability of the enemy or a vulnerability of ours to the
to the enemy. Yeah, sorry, I
Okay,
misunderstood
okay.
that. But I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter because each of the ones doesn't seem like it fits or it's it's just really kind of dark.
I mean, maybe we have revealed a vulnerability in what the Tesseract was doing.
Yes, that's true because Tesseract was opening up between the crystals and also just the capability of just being able to pew 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 their way through like the training stuff. It's like, oh my god.
But that's also only on physical matter. That doesn't necessarily. It's possible that that our weaponry won't be so effective on the kind of beings that we're gonna have to face or
I
something
think
like that.
I think for using it, I mean, like maybe it kind of opens up a like a signal. It's kind of like, the energy is like just giving off that sense, like it almost gives like a beacon of like, hey, this energy is being used here.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, an alternative is because whatever that crystal technology that provides like a opening for the void to get
Oh, I
in.
like that better.
I like
That's
that.
really
Yeah, I
good.
like that
That's
too.
good.
All right,
I like
so
that.
let's see. So hold on, let's put this in here. Ending to training. I have to put the whole title in there, but just revealing. Jonn, say that again. Sorry.
Like it creates an opening for the void to get in.
I just have to put the whole title of the training montage, but it was just like so long. I was like, I don't remember it. Okay, great. Now we will draw cards. At the end of this mini game, all crew members draw a card face up. Oh,
No more
fuck
red
me.
cards, please.
Fuck me.
I'm just
No.
going to draw from one that
I gotta.
I've got a black one. I've got a black one.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Ooh, I got a black.
Okay. All right. So for the black, loyalty is regained if the crew member keeps the card. They briefly describe what this regained loyalty looks like: a changed relationship, a new belief, a growing hope. If the crew member gives the card to another player, they briefly describe a moment of closeness between them. So At the end, I think it depends on like, whoever doesn't have cards or like, the less cards you have, I think determines like some kind of like outcome. I forget exactly what the doohickey is, but I mean like everybody should have at least like,
Yeah.
some cards. So if you
Yeah.
want to give your black card to a different player, then that's great, to at least kind of spread the love. But if you choose to keep the card, again, you fulfill that condition. Describe what the regained loyalty looks like, or if you give to the card to another player, like what's the moment of closeness. For the red, for those of us that drew red, unfortunately, we have to describe a brief glimpse of the enemy and how they become more terrifying yet again. God damn it. Ugh. Okay. I want the you know what? Let's do the red cards first. So this way we can end on the black
Go
cards
on a
with a
good
better
note.
note. Yes, please. God, it's like so depressing. Okay, so I'm gonna do my red card. I think um, we see the expenditure of energy, like in the training montage, like whether it be the Tesseract giving the crystalline bits to Denali, or the expenditure of energy for shooting the targets and such. But any way you shake it, I mean, like there's just this kind of like signal that the camera sees, kind of like this ethereal energy that kind of goes off into the atmosphere, and then we kind of like trace that with the camera, and then it kind of goes to these shadowy beings that are there, but then they're not, and then they're back again, and their eyes glow with the same energy, and it's almost like they kind of flick into place the stronger the signal is, and the shadowy figures that kind of flick into view will get more solid as the energy gets stronger, and then we see them say, "It's calling. It's calling to us. We hear."
Mm.
Who pulled the other red card? I
That
didn't
was
see.
me, yeah. I think it's later, in the evening, and one of like Denali's left one of the little crystals that he hasn't used on his workshop bench. Just this little glowing, tiny glowing crystal. And we hear this kind of wow, wow, wow. And the table starts to shake, and the little crystal starts shaking around, and it starts going a sort of disturbing green color, and then it starts to slowly grow.
I'm gonna cry. Ah. Everybody else draw black, or did you draw red?
I drew black.
Okay.
Um,
Did you?
I drew a four of spades. I'm sorry, I had put it into my hand.
So yes, if you decide to keep the card, you would describe what the regained loyalty looks like, change relationship, a new belief, a growing hope, etc. Or if you choose to give it to another player, then you would describe the moment of closeness between you. So if you, again, you would just decide what you want to do with the card.
Kind of torn between two, but I think I'm gonna keep the card,
Okay.
and I think something that's probably changed is with between me and the captain, where I feel like the captain seems to have taken on more of their like it is like them doing something risky was something that I think I was concerned about them actually being able to do that. So seeing that definitely changed Asher's feelings about where the captain's like mental state is, because there was a lot of doubt when talking about those whispers or those voices. So see that confidence kind of made him happy to see it made him happy to see that.
Awesome. Captain?
Yeah, I think I will give my card, since the Tesseract doesn't have any. I will give one of my cards to them.
Okay.
And I think the closer relationship is when we were talking about the whole philosophy thing. I think that gave us a better understanding of each other, I guess. Because I think the fact that Syrano does really not want to think about philosophy or anything, that is an interesting thing. I think for the Tesseract to notice that not everybody is like, yeah, you know, everybody is just like a deep thinker, and maybe that's okay. Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Okay. So that will be it for today's mini games, and then we will continue onward. Just kind of like take a look at them, during the week if you get a chance to do so. Kind of like see what kind of mini games would make sense for your character, like to enact them. Again, everyone gets to pick out at least three, through the course of the remaining sessions that we have before we get to the grand finale one. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do a round of stars and wishes real quick. Yeah, I mean, I just want to compliment everyone. I mean, thank you for being patient with this is the first time I'm facilitating a Firebrands game ever. So, yes, thank you. Stumbling through it, but I mean, I really do like this game because I think it's just beautifully written, and I really enjoyed this when I got to play it in person. And it just is so simple, but yet so elegant. And it just has so many rich prompts that it can make your character into anything and everything. And when you're dealing with the other characters, I mean, it can make the history between you like so rich, even though you haven't quite played it out yet. So I'm excited to see. I'm mixing up my stars and wishes right now. I'm excited to see what this means for playing to find out. But stars to. Oh my god, I cannot read my freaking handwriting. So stars to the scene where the captain recruited the Tesseract. The research is not always wholly safe. That's one. That's cool. And Cyrano for treating the Tesseract like a person, which was beautiful to see. And then, in the spirit of human adventure, like it's time for a jailbreak. Dug that so much. That was so much fun. And then with the scene with Asher and the captain, just kind of like seeing, I mean, like just like kind of an old relationship, right? I mean, like the Steadfast, like just like well, oh, you're home now. It's like what happened? Like, what are you doing? And oh, you did this, huh? It's like,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm like, duh. Of course you did this. And then like just for the little scene of bad stuff was starting to get around to friends of theirs, and then watching but not saying anything to the people on the communication device, and being loyal to the captain, but then determining for themselves that you can lie to anybody else, but you lie to me, I'm out. Love that. And just just the dealings with each other throughout the mini game was really cool. Like to just start to see those relationships forming, or like how they were dealing with each other. I mean, like it'll be interesting to see different scenes with more with the veteran and captain, more with Asher the veteran, and I'd be curious to see more with like Asher and the Tesseract to see how they interact. That'll be fun. And of course, like just to see more of the relationship between the captain and Asher. So pretty much all the mini games, of course, absolutely. So yeah, that's me.
I can continue. Yeah, I love this. I had a lot of fun playing this. Last time I played the character, I was facilitating, and it was a very I was not trying not to overshadow anyone, and this is not something I need to do here. So I loved all the characters. I loved Denale, Caviscado with their veteran, and I'm old and flabby and still kind of badass. Like, whoa, okay, yeah. I really love the vibe also of that person. I'm mixing up too. I really want to see Denali and Asher interact more because that was nice. And the Tesseract was great. I loved how other and alien, how alien the Tesseract was, but how much of a person they still were. So that was amazing. Yeah, and their whole doubts, am I still only useful for killing? That is always a good question to struggle with. Yeah. And I deeply adored Asher. Like, yeah, I had the feeling that Syrano and Asher know each other very well. I hope some things will come to a head because Syrano, for whatever reason, I mean, he's nobly born and he needs to learn to respect Asher more, and I hope he does. And then I loved the scene where we were just messing about with the pod racers, basically. So that was great. Yeah, I adore this game. I wonder how well it works without the tokens and with the cards, but I trust Rae, so it's probably gonna be fine. So yeah.
Okay, I can go next. Yeah, it was. This is subtly different from all of the other um Firebrand games I've played because there was a lot fewer places where you would draw cards to make your decisions. And so that was something that took getting used to, that like I had to pick the moments instead of just drawing a card and like, oh yeah, let's years ago. It was so it was a little more controlled situation, but I think it made it so that you could pick stuff that let the conversation maybe flow from each part of it better, since it had less randomness in it. So definitely like the system so far. Um I love the captain. Like it's like the voices are, I'm super worried about the voices, and also don't care because this captain is amazing. And so it's just like love that. I think the voices add a nice extra like wrinkle to the character that I really like. Um, um, I guess Caviscado, or I guess do you want? I'm not sure what name should be going by. I've been saying Caviscado, but I feel like I'm the only person who's saying that. So, but
Either way.
yeah, I like the intro where they're like, yeah, I'm just enjoying my downtime, like, and put on a few pounds, probably develop a little bit of a like 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 good living, like a bod from all good living, and so that was in it. But they still when it's time to fight, they still have that skill. It's still muscle memory. It didn't go anywhere. So I like that, and yeah, definitely like the Tesseract with like the of course they always have to wax philosophical, and that's probably always the best part of those strange beings. It's just like they are always the ones that are more concerned about being human than actual humans, and I love that about them. So yeah, definitely a lot of stars there. I think my wishes right now is to see there's like um some of the mini games are very antagonistic, like going into them, and so I'm really wanting to see like the team with those like not even growing pains. This is like it's the old things that broke us up the first time coming to the fore and finding out about those and seeing how everyone responds to that. Because it's like, yeah, the brand broke up. Those problems didn't go away. What happens when they show again? I think that's the thing. I'm looking really for the conflict more than anything else that comes from that, or how they get resolved, or if they get resolved. That's definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, that's me.
I think my star, I mean, like I just really enjoyed. I haven't really had a chance to play many games the last few weeks. So it's just really nice to play. And this was a perfect game. It was nice if it was a GMless game. I really just enjoyed seeing it all sort of come together. And thanks, everyone for having really great characters and interactions. And I think another star is that you kind of know the game is going to set up the scenarios like interpersonal conflicts, and it has in the mini games have all the ingredients to like test out the characters and their relationships. So that, like, my wish is just to see it do that, but also to remember all the stuff we've said about the enemy, because I think that's, you can sometimes forget some of the cool stuff that you say in previous sessions with this game. So I just want to make sure we keep pulling that back in and using it. But yeah, just it's such a lovely game, beautiful game, and everyone did a really great job. And I just really enjoyed hearing what your little bits of story, and it was just what I needed, to be honest, like right today and this week. So thank you.
Oh man, everybody was fantastic, and thank you for adding the NPC tab. Like I've also put in the tab for the mini games as well as like the enemy. So feel free and add to it if there's anything that you think I forgot, or when I send over the recording of this, just to for anybody's memory, just not not only mine, then feel free and then add to it if I forgot to put something into the tabs. I mean, like this is our character keeper, so just feel free and then just write down any notes that you think would be helpful to remember continuing onward for our mini games. Because again, we're building these characters, playing to find out. So I mean, like the past history is, as Jonn said, it's like like it's going to be interesting to find out. It's like what did break us apart, like what did like send us away from each other, like and even more so. I mean, like what did the captain do? I mean, because it is and like for the fact that they have to call us back. So, again, curious about all of it, and it's going to be fun for sure. So this is going to be a wild ride, literally and figuratively. So yeah, I'm excited, and you guys have a wonderful week. Happy gaming, and again, once this converts, I'll send this thing over so you can, like kind of catch up again on it, and then remind yourselves about what we did, and then be ready for next time. Okay, so again, just take a look at the mini games and then see kind of like what seems to fit and what you want to play for next time, because we'll have all session to do mini games. All right. Yeah.
One thing I want to say, because I remember from the first iteration of this, at least,
Yeah.
I think there's the one with the traitor. I think that
Oh,
one.
betrayal. Yeah, there's a
This
betrayal
betrayal thing that
one.
is our character could die in there, so we have to decide if we even want that.
Oh, okay. Do we know which one that is? Because I don't recall which one it is off the top of my head. Let's see. Let's see. Flashback. No, that's not it.
No.
Never did trust you, right?
Yeah, I never did trust you. Yes, that's the one.
42.
Exactly.
So that is, let's see. Flashback. No, that's not it. Or is it? No. Okay, this one.
And I mean, maybe we can hold off on that at least for the first round or something like that, because
yeah. Oh no. That I mean that should be kind of like when we kind of see like if that is something we want to include in the game, like who is the most likely to, to make that possible. Which I don't know whether we're actually going to see that yet or not. But yeah, a lot of these could be things that would happen later on as we see more interpersonal conflicts. So again, like, just kind of take a little look, see if the description seems like something that we would have at this juncture, so early on. But yeah. All right. Have a wonderful week, guys. Yeah. And I will see you next time. Happy gaming. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for facilitating.
Oh, no, absolutely. Thank you.